Good evening. This is the video newsletter for buysellshort.com for Thursday, October 22nd. Nice big bounce on Wall Street today. We had a sort of a BS sell-off yesterday. Market dropped 90. As you can see, we had that big plunge late in the day yesterday, and the reason for the plunge was Dick Bove came out and downgraded or said to sell Wells Fargo, and this despite the fact that a few hours earlier he had different comments on the stock. You'll recall this is the same clown who in 2008 said it was the buy of the century in banks. That was right before the financial crisis. So, yeah, this guy really knows what he's doing, and for some reason they used his ridiculous call yesterday as an excuse to run stops, which is essentially what they did. As you can see on the market today, huge bounce back on the market. Job accomplished. They shook out a bunch of cheap shares and rallied the market back nicely. Just how Wall Street works. Here we're looking at the Dow 15-minute chart, still within this bearish rising wedge. We broke below the 10K mark, but it was pretty short-lived, and we closed nicely above it today. If we flip over to the daily chart, you can see the 20-day exponential hell and all those shorts that got sucked into the market the last couple of days are going around posting on message boards tonight that the economy sucks, this is blah blah blah, fake, ridiculous rally, etc., etc. We'll see what happens when we break 11 or 10,119 possibly tomorrow if the after hours earning report or anything to go by. Amazon blew the doors off as usual. Just very nice earnings reports out there. I believe the stat is that right now 78% of the S&P 500 companies have beat on their earnings. Just a huge number. Not really a surprise. I had been saying that we'd be looking for that to happen a few weeks ago, and as usual, this is not rocket science. It is if you're an analyst, but if you actually have any common sense, it's not. Here on the Dow daily chart, as I said, 10,120 is the level we're going to be looking at tomorrow. Dollar looked like it was going to bounce, but the last couple of days we've seen further weakness, which has also helped the market. And the dollar's not looking too healthy here. We're due for a bounce back, but until that happens, they're probably going to continue with this dollar down, market up scenario. SMH very, very strong today. Nice bounce off the 50-day moving average. And again, as I've mentioned, this is really the only index we care about. The tech stocks are going to lead us in the next year, and the SMH is going to lead that. And this is pretty much a barometer for the market. SMH was up very early today and essentially led this market higher. We've got the Microsoft Windows 7 launch, all that hype surrounding that, and things looking pretty good going into the session tomorrow. Again, a lot of stocks we're pretty flat on the session. Usually is whenever you get a scare like we've had in the market over the last couple of days. It's usually the large cap that lead for a couple of days to 4 to 5 days. Sometimes it takes a week. Then traders start feeling like they're missing out on the action, and then that's when you see the small caps and the mid caps rocket back. So that's what we're sitting on our hands waiting for. Quick mention on a couple of stock plays here. ZHNE, fantastic earnings report in my opinion, but with the market in retreat and small caps sort of out of vogue over the last couple of days, it was pretty easy for them to shake this stock down on, as you can see, pretty low volume, and all they really could shake it to was last week's prices. So we got a nice spike, retrace back to the uptrend line, almost time to start accumulating this one again. And as I mentioned, this is going to be a $1 stock. It's just a matter of how long it takes, not if it's going to happen. Radio stocks, very nice breakout a couple of days ago, and then, again, same theme, slap back on the market, but nice bounce back on these today. Same with SBSA. The next break we see over $1 on SBSA, in my opinion, will rocket it. We had this, fake, essentially, move above 1, then it slapped it back down, but still this sector is still, judging by the action we've seen today, still very much like it. The next break over 1 should be the one that launches it, and we can continue to scalp these moves up and down while we hold our core position in it. New play today, PLUG. Nice pullback over the last couple of days off news. It's held its 20-day exponential. The alternative energy stocks are looking good, and this one looks good for a snapback rally to the $1.15 area in the next day or so, in my opinion. We're also getting close to having a golden cross here on the daily chart, so that should start to play into the chart here, and looks good for a bounce here tomorrow, especially with the way the market's looking in after hours trading. Even though the market was selling off yesterday, we still had a very nice winner. TKO, 30% gain for us yesterday, retraced again today. This is one we're going to continue to scalp as long as it holds its 50-day moving average. But, even in crappy markets, there's always something moving and always something to trade. So, you might be a little bit shell shocked just because of what's been happening in the small caps over the last couple of days. This is normal action. We need this action to see continued upside action, and that is why we sort of reduced our position sizes in that alert I sent out a week ago. How stuff that we're buying smaller than we normally would, and we're easing out of some of our plays and not playing as many stocks. That'll change here pretty fast, and hopefully it'll start changing tomorrow. So just a quick update tonight. Market looks very, very nice. If you're long, if you're short who got conned into the market yesterday, don't know what to say to you. You should be used to it now after what's been happening to you over the last few months. That's it for the video tonight. See you guys in the chat room tomorrow. Good night.